In the darkness of the woods, a group of friends find themselves running for their lives. The terror that pursues them is unseen and unrelenting, picking them off one by one until only Sarah is left to face the horror alone. Will she be able to survive and escape the monsters that lurk in the shadows?
The group of friends scattered in different directions, screaming and running for their lives. They could hear the sound of footsteps closing in on them, and they knew they had to keep moving if they wanted to survive. One by one, they fell, succumbing to the horrors that lurked in the woods. They were attacked by something they couldn't see, something that moved too fast for them to react. But one of them, a girl named Sarah, managed to escape. She ran blindly through the woods, her heart pounding in her chest. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew she had to keep moving. As she ran, she stumbled upon a clearing, a small patch of grass surrounded by trees. She collapsed onto the ground, gasping for air. It was then that she saw it, a figure standing in the shadows watching her. She couldn't make out its features, but she could feel its eyes on her, cold and calculating. She knew she had to get away, but her legs wouldn't move. She was frozen with fear. Suddenly, the figure stepped forward, and Sarah saw it for what it truly was. It was a monster, a creature with long, sharp claws and glowing red eyes. It lunged at her, but Sarah managed to roll out of the way, narrowly avoiding its attack. She scrambled to her feet and ran as fast as she could, knowing that the monster was hot on her heels. She could hear its breathing behind her, feel its claws brushing against her back. But she didn't give up. She pushed herself harder, running faster than she ever had before. And finally, after what felt like an eternity, she burst through the trees and into the open air. She collapsed onto the ground, gasping for air, tears streaming down her face. She was the only one who had survived, the only one who had made it out alive. But even as she lay there, trembling and exhausted, she knew that she would never be the same. The horrors of that day would haunt her for the rest of her life, and she knew that she would never be able to forget the friends she had lost to the monsters in the woods.
As Sarah collapses onto the ground, the weight of what she has witnessed and the loss of her friends hits her hard. Though she managed to escape the monsters in the woods, the trauma of that day will stay with her forever. She will always remember the ones she lost and the fear that consumed her. But Sarah is a survivor, and even in the face of unspeakable horror, she found the strength to keep moving forward.